Hello, and welcome to Becoming Big, a podcast and interview series produced by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southwest Michigan. This is episode 1, which means some introductions are in order. This podcast is designed to showcase and highlight the work of mentoring done in Southwest Michigan. I am your host, Tyler Walker, and each episode I will have guests join me to talk about their experiences and hopefully encourage you, the listener, to get involved in mentorship wherever you are. Today with me is big sister Codie and little sister Aniyah. We will be talking about their beginnings with Big Brothers Big Sisters, how their match has grown over the years, and what they have gained from partnering with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Codie and Aniyah, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
This is exciting.
Awesome. Well, let's start off with something easy. How long have you guys been with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
So I started, Aniyah is my first little that I've ever been paired with. So the length of our match, 2016, when she was 8 years old. She's now 17, just turned 17. So she's grown up. But she was maybe up to my stomach, and now she is much taller than me. So a long time.
Yeah, it's been since I was 8 years old, so it's been quite a lengthy time, and it's just I literally grew up with Miss Codie. Like she literally basically raised me like in my village, like literally.
Oh, 100%. It's a family relationship now. No obligation whatsoever. I just look forward to seeing Aniyah and her family, to be honest. So Aniyah is my little, but her family is also my extended family now. And my family is Aniyah's extended family. So it's
Absolutely.
it's
That's
definitely
awesome.
great.
Well, what drew each of you to kind of start the process with Big Brothers Big Sisters? What was that like?
For me, I actually don't want to have children of my own, but I also know that it's really important for children and young adults to have mentors and to have people that they feel like they can, go to and confide in and trust. And I've had a number of those in my life that have gotten me to where I'm at. So I wanted to kind of give back to the community and be that for somebody else because it was such a benefit in my life. And so that's what I went into it thinking. And it's been so much more. I think I've gotten more out of it than I ever expected. It's changed my life. So I went in hoping to help and change somebody else's life. But that not only, I think, has happened, but backfired on me as well.
For me, I was a very shy individual, and I was really to myself. I didn't have that many friends. I had like a little good group of friends, but not many. And basically, my mom just started doing the application. She was telling me that my uncle had a big when he was younger. Also, my cousin had a big when he was older. And so I was just like, hey, might as well keep it going in the family. Let me get a big.
That's awesome. Was it in this area as well?
Yes, yep, it was
Very
in this
cool.
area, yes.
That's awesome. So certainly knowing people who have been a part of the program is very cool. Personally, with my job, I know that we often have people see us at events and they say, oh, when I lived in, New Orleans, I was a big or something like that. And then, life happens, career changes, location changes where they don't always know exactly where those opportunities are for where they're going to. But I think that's a really special part about Big Brothers Big Sisters being a national chain of, agencies and things like that, where not only do we get to share resources and tips and guides, but also it really connects when people have to move from one area to another. How would you describe your match to someone unfamiliar with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
From the little's perspective, you're adding someone to your support system. You're growing up and you're going to need multiple different resources from people. And so this is just another person adding on that's going to love you for who you are and help you and support you in the different chapters that you're going into as you grow up. And so just the transitions from elementary to middle school to high school, and then now especially because I'm in 11th grade, is like looking into colleges, going doing tours, and finding out what do I want to be when I grow up, and what career field do I want to get into. So it's just that different type of support system, especially with like just helping you figure out and go along your way.
Absolutely. Codie?
Yeah. So from the Big's perspective, I would say it can look however you want it to. And I assume that most big and little matches probably look different.
Absolutely.
I think what's crazy is I get asked a lot about my experience just from friends, family members, acquaintances. And I think the best way to explain that is what it's not, because I think there's a lot of big misconceptions about being a big. I think people go into it, or when they hear about it, they almost, what I've heard from people is that, oh, it's, you maybe become a babysitter,
Sure.
24/7, or the time commitment is constant and you're on call, or with us, it's now just a family relationship. It's so I think the biggest part is it can be whatever anybody really wants to make it out to be.
That's great. I really appreciate that. I don't know if either of you know this, but I just recently became a big brother myself in the program. We've only met about twice now, so it's been very new. But even just that process right now, to me, feels a little more mechanical as far as like the scheduling and the time that we spend together. We're less familiar with each other, so there's a lot of that learning involved. But I hear so many testimonies from people who have been a part of the program for a long time, and I'm very eager to get to that point where it feels a lot more family-like, and where you just have that close friendship and bond that kind of goes away.
Well, I think that's a good point too, because it does. I think you're absolutely correct. In the beginning, that probably was what it felt like for us, not knowing each other, trying to figure out, okay, how does this work? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's another good point, is that it changes over time. How we are now is definitely not how we were when we very first got matched. And so, yeah, I think and I think a lot of people, I would say not to be like caught off guard in the beginning, because it's
Sure.
You're two totally different people from different families, backgrounds likely, and completely different stages in their life. You have, an adult and a young person, so it's going to probably be a little bit awkward in the beginning.
For sure. I think that there is such a prioritizing goal that a lot of us have, which is to spend time with people who aren't like us. And I think with me and my friends, I've seen a lot of people take really good steps towards that. But then when I still look at the people in my life that aren't like me, age is not something that differentiates a lot from myself, where I find people who are my similar age and are still very different than me. But I think that experience of talking with someone from, different generations and stuff like that sometimes gets missed in the conversation of meeting with diverse groups and stuff like that. Aniyah, do you have any thoughts on, spending time regularly with someone who's older than you, who's, outside of your family?
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird. I'm definitely an introvert when it comes down to just talking in public places in general to anybody, but it's definitely different, especially when you don't know that person, and it's like you're like, especially with the school area, you got 1,000 kids coming from different backgrounds and everything, and so it's just going out and meeting them it can be really hard, and it's actually kind of stressful for me personally. Yeah. So I think it's just like over time, you just have to talk, and over time, it will start to become more natural and stuff. But it definitely gives you a little bit of anxiety when you coming down and to talk to somebody.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point to make, where as much as the payoff that you have over time is something that you value, that doesn't come on day one or day two or day three, but it's something that grows over time.
Speaking of the age difference, I have realized that I do not have the vocabulary of the young people today, and I definitely should not be using LOL in my everyday language, although I still will text her that.
Sure. Well, tell me a little bit about what the both of you spending time together looks like. Obviously that can be kind of a broad thing, a vague thing, and certainly looks different for different matches, but what does that look like for the two of you, and how do you think that's changed over your time together?
The very first thing we normally do is go out to eat.
Sure.
Me and Miss Codie.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Me and Miss Codie love to eat, okay? We try all types of different foods, and we always got to start off with a meal. And,
sure.
And with that meal comes a conversation. We just catch up with me and her have busy lives, of course, completely different lives. And so we just catch up on what we've been doing day to day, and what my friendships look like, how is school going for me, and what's her work life looking like, and all of that different type of stuff. And then we typically just like go from there, and we don't do as many big things. We just do like simple stuff. We might go shopping, go to the bookstore. Majority of the time we do go back to her house because she has 2 dogs, and I literally love them. And so I always have
They
to go
love
and
her.
say hi to them. Like, I
Absolutely.
literally love them. And so we just do some relaxing things. And sometimes we do have those things where we plan ahead and do big events. Like, she took me to Michigan State to tour it. We
Very
went
cool.
to Western girls basketball game. So
Nice.
sometimes like it's big events where we plan ahead, and sometimes we just go with the flow.
Absolutely.
And sometimes big events where she forgets that we're going to the big events.
Yes,
And I show up knocking on her door.
I'm terrible with my
She
schedule.
has a busy schedule.
Sure,
She forgets
absolutely.
to add me on it.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you've certainly mentioned a couple of things. What would you say your favorite thing that you've done together is?
So I would echo what Aniyah said as far as like going out to eat, and just that time where we do just get to sit across from the table and just chat.
Yeah.
I think that's come along more so as she got a little bit older. And that's kind of one of the changes that's developed in our relationship, is that we can sit there and just talk now
Yeah.
about tons of stuff. And I always say this, but one of my highlights is when you came to like help me pick out my dress for my wedding. So that was a big thing for me. And you guys came to my bridal shower. And but no, we play board games a lot too.
I
And
love board
believe
games.
it or not, Aniyah is a gamer.
Okay.
And she is competitive.
Very.
I
Yes.
can relate to that. I'm definitely a competitive. I love a board game with too many rules. I'm always the person explaining to them. What's your favorite board game?
Honestly, my favorite classic board game is Monopoly. I
Okay.
love Monopoly, but it do get like real complicated, and
Sure.
don't play with your family
Plays out long game.
very long game, and don't play with your family either because y'all might be mad at each other for a couple hours. But I do definitely like that, and also Miss Codie got me into these crime case games. It's like a criminal
like the-
case, and
yeah,
you gotta
escape
solve
room in
it.
a box
Yep.
kind of a thing.
Yep,
I've
I
played a couple
love
of
those. Yes.
Very cool. Well, we're going to take a quick break and let the listeners know what's going on with Big Brothers Big Sisters right now, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Sounds good.
Interested in joining the Big Brothers Big Sisters community? Here in Southwest Michigan, we have a wide range of programs designed to engage your interest and accommodate your schedule. Your interest in giving back to the youth of your community is all that's needed, with free passes and tickets to local events, guides on what to do in your area, and programs that support any time you have to give back, from weekends, weeknights, to lunch breaks. For more information, head to thinkbigtoday.org. Want to help support Big Brothers Big Sisters and love bowling? Our annual Bowl for Kids' Sake event is still going strong and has one more event on March 8th, 2025 at the Zap Zone in Battle Creek, Michigan. Help us raise money and earn a lane for open bowling. More information can be found at thinkbigtoday.org. All right, and we're back. Thank you so much. Before we jump back into another couple questions, I have a little game I want to play with the two of you. My goal is to have maybe a little leaderboard style of the different matches that we have come in here. So I'll be keeping track. Maybe we'll play it, more than once, but this game is called Wavelength. So what's going to happen is each of you are going to pick a word. You'll say it at the same time. I'll count down 3, 2, 1, and then you'll say it. And then you'll use the words that you just said to pick a new word, and you'll continue doing that until you both say the same word. Make sense?
Yes. I feel like I'm going to be awful.
No worries. And that's all part of the fun. No matter what, you'll be in first place after today. So if that helps you, there's no one else to compete with. You're just setting the bar. All
Love
right.
it.
So do you have a word in mind?
Yes, I do.
All right. I'm going to
Hold
count
on.
down 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to say it.
Hold on. Let me think of a word.
It's like
This
a
is putting
Rorschach
me on
test.
the-
Stream of
Okay.
consciousness. You're just going to say something. 3, 2, 1.
Highlight.
Movie.
So highlight and movie.
Uh-huh.
Great. So now you're trying to think of another word to bridge the gap there.
Oh, no.
3, 2, 1.
Scene.
Book.
Scene and book. All right.
Okay.
Feels like we're
I get
closer
your
now.
path. Wait, I get your path. Wait, but I don't have. Okay.
Scene and book. That's what you're trying. This is for round 3.
Oh, geez.
3, 2, 1.
Game.
Play.
Game and play.
Okay,
So
we get it.
we're in a similar space here.
Okay.
Game and play. All right. We're dialing in on something here. Cody's less sure. 3, 2, 1.
Lights.
Basketball.
Lights and basketball.
All
All
right.
right. There's something there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Lights and
You got
basketball.
this.
Okay. Hopefully.
3, 2, 1.
Gym.
Stadium.
Okay. That's so close though.
Whoa. Okay.
So now you're trying to put gym and stadium.
Okay. Oh, you got this. You got this. Just, you know what
Do
I'm
we?
about to say.
Okay.
Or do I know what you're about to say?
Probably.
Sure.
All
All
right.
right. 3, 2, 1.
Field.
Michigan State.
All right.
Field in Michigan State. All right.
Okay, we got this. We getting close.
Field in Michigan
I got this.
State. All
Oh,
right.
what's the next one gonna be?
Well, you can't ask.
Just
3, 2, 1.
football.
Campus.
Football and campus. All right.
All right.
We're circling it.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Green.
Team.
Green and team.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Green and team. I feel like I have what word I would say, but I'm not playing. This
I don't.
game.
I don't know what to say now.
I know what I'm gonna say
Green
next.
and team.
I don't know what I'm gonna say now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait. No. All right. I'm gonna just.
All right.
Just think of everything that we've been saying
Yes,
up to this
for
point.
sure.
There's one word that can bring this together.
3, 2, 1.
Football.
Spartan.
All right.
For sure. Spartans is what I was thinking there. So we got Spartans in football. Got Spartans in football.
Oh my goodness.
No matter what, you're in first place
Oh,
still.
jeez.
3, 2, 1.
Sports.
College. Oh.
Right.
Sports and college. All right. Got another one here. 3, 2, 1.
Team.
I was actually just gonna say team. I
But that-
stuttered, but I was gonna say team. So we made it.
We'll call it
Right?
there. I'll take your
Okay.
word for it.
Team.
I'll take your word for it. Well, that was Wavelength. Thank you so much for indulging me.
Oh my
And we're
goodness.
never invited back for that game.
Never.
I'll come up with something else the next time both of you are on. Great. Well, I've got a question just for you, Codie, that I think some people listening might be interested in. For potential bigs considering Big Brothers Big Sisters, what were some positives that you didn't foresee until you became a big sister?
I didn't foresee the impact that this would have on my life as well. I really went into it thinking I'm gonna give, and I've gotten just as much in return. I've gotten a new family, and I think I've just gotten a lot of joy in my own life from this. So that is not what I was expecting.
Absolutely.
And I didn't expect that this would kind of come, I guess, so full circle. I, didn't think that it would grow as much as it has. And thought it would probably, especially when she was younger and we were still getting used to it, I didn't see it developing as much as it has and turning into what it is. I mean, we'll now be, paired for a lifetime.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, I
we
didn't see
have a
that.
lot of matches that even though, people come of age and they're not, formally a part of the program, you're just people who know each other and have this amazing bond. It's not like that gets shut down,
Right.
Once you turn 18 or something like that. Well, Aniyah, specifically for you, what aspects of your life do you think have been affected by your relationship with Codie?
I think everything in a positive way.
Okay.
Literally everything. Like I've been saying, it was an extra a person that got into my support system for me, that has backed me up with a lot of stuff, helped me make some tough decisions, that has talked to me about everyone. So that has given me more opportunities, especially with my business. I own a business and I started it when I was 12, but Miss Codie kept talking about it, and I even sold some product at one of the Bowl for Kids sake
That's
a couple
awesome.
years ago. And so just doing that type of stuff, she just brought so much like light into my life. She made me think outside the box of like what I could be when I grow up. She kind of influenced me, but
Not intentionally.
not intentionally,
Sure.
but she kind of
Everyone in your
influenced
life
me.
influences
Right.
you know.
To be somewhere in the law, get in the law field with, I don't know, but specifically I don't know anymore, but I definitely want to stay on that path. But
Yeah.
she inspired me to even just look into it. So it's just a lot of positive impacts that she has gave me. Now I'm kind of like this introvert, but at the same time I talk a lot, and I like to any and everybody.
Sure.
So it's kind of weird, but I definitely do think Miss Codie had that impact because she was probably like one of the complete strangers that just came into my life. Like
Yeah.
I was staying in the same community. I knew everybody, but she was just like this random person that came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and like she stayed in my life. So it definitely did have an
Yeah.
impact on me.
For sure. Well, what is something about your relationship that might surprise people who aren't familiar with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
We get to experience a lot. I think figuring things out together, whether it's playing board games or, going horseback riding or going to a play. I think the adventure of it is fun because we can always go out and find new things. We try to do new restaurants, so it's kind of like a mini adventure every time
It's
we get
always
together.
changing.
Yeah.
For me, it'll probably be the length of it, cause I have
Sure.
friends around me that also had a big, but it wasn't like for long term.
Yeah.
And so when I say that I have a big, and they ask, how long have y'all been together? It's always surprising to them
Absolutely.
that we have had this long term relationship, and so I think that's one of the surprising things.
Yeah, we have a lot of matches that, really benefit from the year they spend together, and whether that's, personal things change with either side, or just, people feel like they've gotten what they wanted out of the program. There's always that variety in the amount of time that people spend with the program. Certainly your length as a match together is an anomaly, but absolutely encouraged and supported on our end fully. I have one more question for the two of you. What advice or encouragement do you have to a listener that might be on the fence about joining Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Just do it. I think just take that jump, and what bad could come out of it? I don't think anything, honestly. I think it could be scary to a lot of people, just because it's not our norm. It's not my norm, especially being somebody who doesn't want my children of my own. So I'm not really surrounded by children or young adults. And so that's completely out of my typical comfort zone. So I think that could probably be intimidating for people, or, we just don't like going out of our comfort zones, but it's the best choice that I've made. I think you just have to just do it.
Yeah. Anything you'd add to that, Aniyah?
I think the same thing. Just to add that you don't know what's gonna come out of it, so might as well try it. So
Absolutely. There is some really great advice I got a while back, which was that the key to living a long life, an eternal life, is to try different things. That when you try different things, your memory soaks up those things and holds on to them far longer. Even just, your commute to work or school, you don't remember every time that you drive to work because it's the mundane. Your brain kind of filters that out for more important things. But when you do these new things, like you're talking about, whether it's just participating in the program or the new things that you do as a pairing together, just creates so many unique experiences that I think are so powerful and can enrich people's lives. Thank you both so much for being here. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the program, your experience, or just a shout out you want to make?
shout out to my mom.
There you go.
We would not be here without her.
For sure. Absolutely.
I second and third that as well.
Oh, you know what? I'll tell the fun story about, just to end this. So whenever I end my time, or, the day with Aniyah, I take her back home, and it's so funny. Typically, I will be on the phone with my stepmother before I go and pick up Aniyah, and then I usually call her when I'm on the road, so I'll call her after I leave Aniyah's, and she now knows that it's going to be an hour or two. after I drop Aniyah off that I'll be calling, because I end up staying and just hanging out with Aniyah and her mom, and just talking, and just as much as Aniyah and I talk, we spend time with her mom as well. So it's just a fun, it's a fun time.
That's awesome. Well, we'll have your mom on sometime too. I know she's listening in the other room.
Oh, don't have her. She's very talkative. She's going to take over the show. Don't have her on here.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you both so much for being here. I hope you had a good time. And for our listeners, thank you so much for checking out our first episode of Becoming Big. And we'll see you next time. Becoming Big would not be possible without the support of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southwest Michigan and the resources found at the Public Media Network of Kalamazoo.